This week, well, actually last week, I came across this wash basin and pitcher. Nobody wanted it, of course, so I ended up with it, and it's actually quite lovely. I really like it. But when I got it home, I couldn't help but remember the stories in the Gospels about Jesus having his feet washed, as well as washing his disciples' feet. And in the past, I always thought of this act as this submission to serve the people that you love, because I see washing someone's feet as an act of love, an act of service, and we love each other. We want to. I think about the woman who washed Jesus' feet in what chapter was that? Luke 7:36 through 50. She loved him so much, right? Even though she was a sinner. And then, in John 13, when Jesus washes his disciples' feet and says that unless he washes them, they'll have no part of him. And I thought about that. And all the focus is on washing someone's feet. But I want to point out that in the book of Luke, in chapter 7, Yeshua allows a sinner to wash his feet. He allows this woman who the Pharisee knows is a sinner to wash his feet. And I couldn't help but consider, in this last week, I also came across this embroidery of the depiction of the little drummer boy, the carol of the drum, right? And in this, the little drummer boy brings a gift to the king. He's just this poor boy. He has nothing to offer the baby Jesus except his song, and he gives it from his heart. That's what it's all about. And Yeshua, Jesus, the baby in the song, smiles, right? And Jesus, when this woman brought her offering of love and of the ointment and washed his feet, he accepted her gift, even though she was so beneath him. And Jesus tells us to wash each other's feet. But how many times have you attempted to love someone only to be pushed away because you had nothing to offer them that they wanted because you were beneath them, right? A sinner. You don't get to bless them. Right? It's not just about washing someone else's feet. It's about letting your own feet be washed. What you do to the least of my brothers. I think that's how the verse goes. I'll have to look it up because now I really don't know, and I don't want to get it wrong. What you do to the least of mine, I believe. Let me see what it says here. Matthew 25:40, I believe is where it's at. Forgive me, my children are walking around in the house, so you might hear them. The king will reply, "Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." So when you refuse to let someone wash your feet and they're trying to love you, what do you think you're really doing? You're denying someone the ability to love you because you've judged them. And I've done it, where I've decided this person I don't want anything to do with. I've done it. I admit that. And some of that is from bad past experiences. We have to have some discernment, because sometimes people think strings should be attached to their gifts. But when it's a genuine thing, when it's someone who genuinely just wants to love you and know you, to turn your back on them and not let them wash your feet, love you. That's what this is about. It's about loving each other. That's what Yeshua has told us. Love one another. Love one another. It's all about that. And we forget that. We focus on the action of love. And I feel like it's this pseudo mimic humility, well, this is how I show I'm humble, so look, I'm going to be a servant, because that's the equation that will prove to others that I'm actually humble. But sometimes letting your feet be washed is the act of humility, not washing them. Letting someone love you and see the things you've walked through. You're clean, right? Because God made you clean. God made you clean. No one else can make you clean, right? He did that when he saved you, when you accepted him as Messiah. So why wash each other's feet? The feet is what we walk through, our experiences. When you let someone know what you've been through, and they wash the dirt from your feet, and they see it, and they clean it off and still love you. But how many times do you hide everything that's ever happened to you because, oh, I can't let anyone see where I've been because they'll judge me? And honestly, you're not wrong. A lot of them will. But that's not what he tells us to do. He says, love each other. That means you have to let someone love you. So next time you're pondering how you're going to help someone, ask yourself this. Have you let someone love you lately? Have you turned your back on someone who genuinely cared about you because of whatever reason? It's important to let someone love you.